What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pub Sports Radio and welcome to the Draftkings Picks and Prediction Show late night edition. We are here 9 o'clock Eastern time. We got Weezy, we got Gordo, and we got Lou Betches stepping in for Monk. Looking forward to this card. I think it's a great card from a DraftKings perspective. UFC Vegas 71. I think we're going to get a lot of finishes. I think we're going to have a lot of big scores. So just hoping they don't cancel any fights after the start time. That is always the goal nowadays. But we'll kick it to you first, Weezy. Are you looking forward to some UFC Vegas 71?
I am. I've got some bets on this card. I've got some prize picks plays that I like, and I've got all these fights written up, so I'm ready to talk about this. This is an interesting card, 12 fights, so we got to be really mindful about lineup construction here. And I've got, I want to hear what you guys have to say too. So let's get into it.
Yes, sir. We got our guy Lou Betches stepping in on short notice for Monk. Lou, what is up? Are you looking forward to UFC Vegas 71?
So every time I've been able to do this show, I love this show. I know it's on our channel. I love the show. Thank you, Pub Sports, for once again having me. I have 2 pages of notes. This is a challenge. I love the format of the show. I take it seriously. The only thing I will say that I had a real challenge with was what was my favorite GPP and dog play. I flipped them back and forth, but there's a lot of the low end of the salary that I like.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have there's going to be at least one person's going to screw everybody's night up easily.
Like always, yeah.
No, big time. Like big time.
You think it's Montel Jackson screwing everybody's lineup?
Well, we're going to get to who I think's going to. I don't know.
I like
Can't roster him. Go ahead.
Yeah, by the way, Lou, we do get a shout you out from last week. You hit a 20-1 yam bag. I mean, and you should have hit 2 of them. You should have hit 2 yam bags last week. What were you thinking whenever you got the first one and you didn't call it?
Freddie, look, man, I'm a guest on your channel, and I respect you. I respect Weezy. I respect Gordo. But, bitch, this is what I do for a living.
Yes.
I'm motherfucking hit yam bag shit. This is my average Tuesday, hitting the yam bag down. I don't know why you're shouting me out. Like this ain't new to me.
True.
It's my average Tuesday. Somebody getting punted in the sack and me getting paid. This is an average Tuesday for me.
I like it.
It's your fault for having me replace Monk, by the way. You're to blame. Boston Nick is it's your fault.
I got you. Gordo, how you feeling on this, what is it, Tuesday, Wednesday night?
Wednesday. I'm feeling okay. It is peak final season here. So this is my calm amidst the chaos, right? Like we have those studying going on in the background, but yet I'm here talking fights, and that's the what I look forward to all week. So I'm happy to hear your thoughts on this one. Super happy to have Lou here joining us as well, and it should be a fun one. Look forward to hearing everyone's takes.
All right, guys, before we get into it, all of you guys can please leave a like, subscribe here to Pub Sports Radio. We do go live every Wednesday for some DraftKings here. We'll talk some prize picks later in the show as well, but we're going to kick it off, as always, with our fight to target, and I will start with you, Uncle Weezy. What is your favorite fight to target this week? I think there's a couple that really stick out.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many fights to target. I could have literally come up with 6. I'll just go with the Semelsberger Wells this week. Definitely 2 high-scoring fighters here. Wells is scoring 5.11 DraftKings points per minute, and Semi is scoring 3.69. This fight is favored to finish under 10 minutes. So whoever wins this fight probably scores in the triple digits if that happens. And since this fight is a pick'em right now, you can get Semi, who's only 7,800, and there's some money line value in his salary. And with Wells at 8,400, you got a guy who's literally finished 2 fights in the first round, 1 fight in the second round. He's scoring over 100 points per fight. So whoever you get here, whoever wins this fight, if they're in your lineup, they're probably optimal. So I think it's a really good fight to target both sides of.
Yep, I like that one. For me, I'm going to go with something really ugly and really nasty and really disgusting, and that's going to be the Junior Tafa Muhammad Usman fight. It's because of these price tags, man. You got Junior Tafa 8,200, Muhammad Usman 8,000, and I feel like their paths score really well. Like for Junior Tafa, if I see him winning, it's going to be probably a first-round knockout, and if Muhammad Usman wins, I think it's him going out there, taking down Junior Tafa, potentially getting a late finish or a decision. So I think whoever wins this fight at these price tags, I think they can score pretty well here. So give me the Junior Tafa Muhammad Usman fight as my favorite fight to target. Lou, what is your favorite fight to target this week?
Well, got to be your homegirl, Brady.
Mm.
Got to beat Karine Silva against Priscilla Cachoeira. Cachoeira is averaging 100 in a win.
Goodness.
I mean, her and what's live for here right now is her KO, probably KO 2. Silva, if she's smart, she's getting an immediate takedown in this fight. If she does get a takedown in the first round submission is almost like a done deal. It's incredibly live. I think either one scores 110 points easily in this fight. And you're getting really good prices, especially on the Cachoeira side. But I think you're getting pretty good prices here either way. You're going to get a 10x. So Silva Cachoeira for me is the fight to target.
I like it. That's actually one of my favorite fights in the card. I think that's going to be a very fun fight, like all Cachoeira fights.
Man.
Yes, absolutely. Gordo, what is your favorite fight to target this week?
Are you guys kidding me? You guys leaving me with the main event as the fight to target? Like, you're making my job so easy here, right? You have a fight that's what, minus 900 not to go the distance. Sergei Pavlovich versus Blaydes. Sergei Pavlovich in his win has never scored below 106. I think it is. The guy's an absolute killer. All first round finishes. And on the other side of things, Blaydes, the same guy who put up 170 against Volkov. We know he has the wrestling takedown upside. This fight's one you're going to have, and I do think it finishes violently, scoring well for the winner.
I like it. Yeah, 4 good ones there. I think there's a lot that we can target this week, but I thought we brought up 4 really good ones there. Before we move on, do you want to shout out the chat? We got Ollie One hanging out with us here. We got Rex Lee. We got Chris Wilson. We got Billy in the chat. What is up? Equanimous. We got MMA Prodigy. What is up, everybody? Let's keep moving on to our fight to fade. And I will let you kick this one off. Gordo, what fight are you fading this week?
Yeah, you can make a case for a lot of these fights, but I'm going to be fading the Bobby Green versus Jared Gordon fight, in my opinion. When I look at this one, I see one that is going to go to the distance. It's favored to go the distance. And at 9.4K, when you got a guy in Bobby Green who sure has the volume to put up a decent score, with compared to the people around him, he's not someone who's looking too attractive, right? I think he wins this fight. I think he gets a nice decision win there. But in doing so, Jared Gordon's a guy who's content with pushing you against the cage and slowing the fight down. So is Bobby Green able to get more output than someone like Jackson or Marshall or Silva who has finish upside? I don't necessarily think so. And for that reason, I'm kind of staying away from GPP format. Not one I'm looking too forward to.
Damn it, Gordo. I had that one. But I'll go ahead and give a different one here. I'll go Norma Dumont, Karol Rosa. You got 8,300 for Norma Dumont, 7,900 for Karol Rosa. Yeah, I just don't see a finish here. I think it's like plus 250 for the fight to end inside the distance here. I guess I could see grappling either side, but I just don't see much in a win here from either fight. There's somebody fading the Dumont-Rosa fight. Don't have much interest in it, but yeah, I did have the Bobby Green fight as well, Gordo. Lou, what fight are you fading this week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fighting Lucindo Walker. I mean, it probably stays in the feet. Like, they're both awful. Lucindo at 9,500 is very KO dependent. She's very, like, I mean, I don't know how she pays up her salary. And Walker, even though she's cheap, she's sucks. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, we just saw her against Juliana Miller, who, like, got exposed as a fraud. I don't know what Brogan Walker does here to, like, do anything. And Lucindo decision, or I'm sorry, is it Iasmin, Lucindo? Like, I'm not trying to mispronounce. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk. But, like, how does she pay off 9,500 here? Other than a first round KO. And on this slate, there's tons of dogs that are good. I don't know how she pays up her salary. Brogan Walker is going to get like 10. So total pass for me here.
All right, so we're fading the Green Gordon fight. We're fading the Lucindo Walker fight, the Dumont Rosa fight. Weezy, which one stuck out to you as far as a fade?
I'm going with Tavares versus Bruno Silva because Tavares has got a work rate of 2.02 points per minute, and he's only allowing 2.4 over a huge sample size. So his fights are extremely low scoring. And then over on the other side, Blindado Silva, he's getting 2.66 points per minute, which isn't great at all. He's allowing 4.12 points, but Tavares is pretty low volume. He doesn't get takedowns. And the problem is that this fight is actually favored to go the distance more times than it finishes inside the distance. Neither guy wrestles much, and it will be pointless for Bruno Silva to wrestle because Tavares has got fantastic takedown defense. At a work rate of 2.5 DraftKings points per minute, which is actually higher than what Tavares gets. The winner in a decision scores 67.5 points. And you're talking about Tavares being 8,700, Silva being 7,500, I believe. It's not good enough. So, yeah, that's a pretty good one to fade, in my opinion.
All right. And yeah, we're going to move on to our fighter to fade. I'm going to piggyback right off you there. I'm fading Brad Tavares. 8,900 for Brad Tavares, a guy that has one knockout win in the last like 12 years. I think he could potentially win this fight, especially if drunk Bruno Silva shows up again. But even if he does win, he doesn't wrestle. He doesn't finish anybody, and it would probably be like a point-based decision. 8,900, I just can't get there. So fading Brad Tavares at 8,900. Lou, which fighter are you fading this weekend?
Yeah, I'm same with you, man. No grappling upside at all with Tavares, 8,900. His last wins, 75, 56, 81 with a KO. He had 81, 73, and 57. Yeah, no thanks, man.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty easy fade this week. Gordo, which fighter are you fading this week?
I can save you guys time and say the same thing. That is mine. I want to fade as well, but I'll give you one other name here. I'm also fading a little bit of Ricky Glenn, sorry. He is a guy who's put up 140 twice before, but I don't see it happening in this spot here at 9K. I think there are better options around him. In my opinion, he doesn't want to take any grappling involved here, so it's going to be him relying on a strike. And although he can get some certain points here, I think it's going to be a dicey first couple of rounds. So considering the people around him, 9K is not too pretty for him.
All right, I like it. And then Weezy, which fighter are you fading this week?
Man, I mean, it's kind of scary, but I'm going with Tavares as well. I'm trying to think of someone else to talk about. Maybe Karine Silva. I think Priscilla Cachoeira is going to shave her ass. I think Karine Silva's got about one good round in her, and Priscilla is extremely durable. And when you look at the ladies that have subbed Priscilla Cachoeira, it's two of the top grapplers. I mean, you talk about Valentina Shevchenko, one of the top fighters in the history of the sport. And then Jillian Robertson, who's a pure grappler who gets submissions every damn time that she wins. She's got 9 wins in the UFC, 7 of them are by submission. So I kind of feel like if Priscilla can just last that first round, Karina's going to be too tired to get her down. I think Priscilla's going to march her down and knock her ass out in the second round. So if that happens, Karine Silva at 9,100 is not going to pay off. So let's fade her. But the original answer was Tavares.
I'm sorry. Did you say Cachoeira is going to shave Silva's ass? Don't you mean afro?
No. Don't shave that afro. That afro is pretty.
Okay.
That afro is awesome.
Okay.
That Sherdog picture of her is so good. So please don't shave that. But please do shave her ass in there because I got money on Cachoeira. She's the ass shaving of the week this week. I'm looking for her to get the job done in there. So let's fade Karine Silva.
All right, shave the ass. Stay away from the afro. Got it. Gotcha. I like it. All right, next we'll move on to our favorite dog. Yeah, lots of options here, honestly. We'll start with you, Weezy. Weezy, who's your favorite dog?
Priscilla Cachoeira, my friend. I think Zombie Girl is a very high upside, low cost option this week. We've seen Karine Silva slow down in the past. If she doesn't get Priscilla down and sub her early, I see her wilting under the pressure and power striking of Cachoeira. We already talked about the 2 ladies who subbed Cachoeira. So I'm looking for her to weather that first round early storm, get the second round KO. And if she does that again, she's scoring like 100 points in her wins. And at 7,100, if that is the way this fight takes place, Cachoeira is a great option amongst many this week, in my opinion. There's so many good ones.
Yep, absolutely. I'll let you go next, Gordo. Gordo, who's your favorite dog on the slate?
Yeah, there's a lot of very good dogs, but I'm going to talk about Christos Giagos today as someone I'm looking to play as an underdog. I mean, he is someone who I think has fought a better level of competition. I mean, he took on Drakkar Klose, Arman Tsarsukian, Carlton Minus. Like, these people he's fighting are people who I think have a pretty good reputation around here, and I do think he's improving. And you're getting a guy in Ricky Glenn who, sure, he does have a decent skill set, able to pop back up, pretty hard to take down, but he's fighting twice in 5 years, coming out these injuries. He has that ring rust, and I do think that there is some grappling viability for someone Giagos at 7.2, and considering his win condition involves probably rinse and repeat takedowns, threatening submissions, and ultimately having a high-paced decision, I do think it scores well at 7.2. Not saying it's a lock of an underdog. I'm saying when he wins, I do think he scores very, very well at a decently low ownership as well.
Yep, I like it. Lou, who's your favorite dog this week?
I mean, how do I not say Pavlovich at 7,400? Like, his win condition is +1, is 110 some points. The only problem I have, like the only hesitation for the show, is that he's going to be very highly owned. I'll get back to Giagos in a second. I think everything Gordo said is like spot on the money here, but at 7,400 for a guy whose potential is 115 points, easy, I have to make a my underdog pick.
Yep, I'll definitely be talking about him later on.
Well, by the way, the line value like backs that. Like his line versus his salary is like crazy.
Yep, he's plus 150 and he's only 7,400. I'm going with somebody else with some line value, and that's Bruno Silva. He's currently sitting at plus 130, plus 135, and the dude's 7,300. Yeah, his last performance really scares me. But he's had 30 fights. He's never looked that bad, and I'm hoping if he comes in here ready to go, I think he has a chance to knock out Brad Tavares. So yeah, going to be going right back to Bruno Silva. I know he let everybody down in his last fight, but 7,300. I think there's some solid value there, especially considering this line is just closing extremely fast here. All right, next we'll move on to our prize picks section here. Going to bring up the banner. If you guys have not already signed up on prize picks, use that promo code PUBSPORTS. We've been killing it with the prize picks. I'll let you kick this one off, Weezy. What is your favorite prize picks play this week?
Well, there's several that I like this week, but the one that I'm going to give you is Brad Tavares under 91.5 fantasy points. Wow. And yeah, that's a lot of points, right? Yeah. And if I'm looking at my advanced stats here for Tavares, on FanDuel, this guy is scoring 36 points per 15 minutes without, win points, obviously. So there would be some win points in there, but you're talking about a guy who needs to score 91.5 points. And in prize picks, you're getting 3 points for every stuffed takedown. But the problem is that Bruno Silva's not a wrestler. He's not going to be shooting takedowns here. So, in order to pay off that price, Tavares is either going to need to wrestle, like get a couple of knockdowns, or finish, KO Bruno Silva, something that Alex Pereira couldn't do. So 91.5 just seems absurd to me. It's a really high total for somebody that really kind of needs to stuff about 10 takedowns to even sniff that number, even in a win. You only get 20 points for a decision win in prize picks. So if he wins by decision, and he's only finished one opponent in his 10 wins. So if he does win by decision, he's going to need to rack up 70 points, which is going to be in the neighborhood of like 120 significant strikes. He just doesn't do that. So I like that one.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous score there. I wrote that down as well. For me, I'm going to go with Montel Jackson under 1.5 takedowns. I mean, he should not shoot any takedowns here. I mean, it would make sense for him to not get any takedowns. So as long as he fights smart, keeps us on the feet, he should be fine here. I'd be shocked if he went for takedowns. I mean, it just wouldn't make sense stylistically taking down a 5th degree black belt in BJJ who wants to get it down on the mat. So yeah, just trying to bank on the smart decisions of Montel Jackson here. Just no reason to take this guy down. So give me the under takedowns on Montel Jackson. Gordo, what are you liking for prize picks?
That's the one I have circled too. It's very easy, but I'll go out there and give you a different one. And I'm going to put all my eggs in one basket. I've talked about this guy 3 fights in a row. We're going to go with the under for Ricky Glenn fantasy score, just because that's my read I have on this fight. I think even if he does win, it's going to come by decision, come being a striking. He doesn't have much takedown upside in the spot, in my opinion. So at 85.5, I do think even in a win, he's able to hit that under there. So although I do like the Montel Jackson under and takedowns, this is my second favorite option here.
I like it. And then Lute, were you able to find anything? I know you came in on short notice.
Well, it's not about short notice. It's about prize picks in Pennsylvania is illegal. So I had to dig and I could not find any prize picks on underdogs. They were they're not available. So what I will tell you is what I would like to give out. If Pavlovich if his strike total, if you have it, because he's never landed more than 23 in a professional fight in the UFC. And if it's anything under that, I'm all about it. So for the sake of the show, I'll give under 6 minutes. If Blaydes gets a takedown, he's going to wreck him. I like Weezy's a lot more, but I really wanted to focus on the Pavlovich strikes more than anything else. But under 6.5 minutes seems kind of safe-ish. Yeah. But I'd rather take Pavlovich 23 strikes, because even if Blaydes takes 2 rounds to beat him, I don't know how he lands 23 strikes.
So they have Blaydes 25.5 significant strikes.
No, Pavlovich.
Yeah, they don't have Pavlovich. They just have Blaydes there.
Okay, well, if they ever get their head out of their buttholes, I'd take the under on Pavlovich strikes.
Okay. Sounds good. And then
But under time is good. 6 minutes
Okay.
is fine.
Yeah, I like that too. All right. So we'll see how we do this week for the prize picks. Yeah, like I said, we've been on kind of a heater lately. Check out prize picks, promo code Pub Sports. All right, moving on. We're going to go to our favorite GPP play. Weezy, we'll start with you. Who are you liking this week for GPP?
I have Curtis Blaydes down. I mean, we all know the path to victory for both of these guys, and it's early knockout. Blaydes' path is wrestling, and if he successfully combines a takedown or two with a first or second round finish, he's scoring in the triple digits easily. So we can't unsee what Overeem did to Pavlovich on the ground. And then it's even harder to unsee what Blaydes did to Overeem on the ground to show that there's going to be a levels difference that's just huge. And then you got a guy in Blaydes who's attempted almost 120 takedowns in the UFC. So we know that we can count on this guy to go out there and wrestle because Pavlovich has just got nuclear power in those hands of his. So, looking for Blaydes to go out there, shave the ass early, and put a ton of points up.
Yep, you got to have a ton of Blaydes, a ton of Pavlovich as well, that main event. For me, I'm going to go with the Philly guy. Jeremiah Wells here, 8,400. This guy has a ton of power, early finish upside. He has some wrestling. He's a BJJ black belt. I do worry if this fight does get extended late second, third round, but I'm going for that upside. I'm going for that early finish upside here with Wells, 8,400. I think if he wins, it's an early finish and he scores really big here. So like me some Wells, 8,400. Lou, who are you liking for a GBP play this week?
Yeah, this is where I'm going to go to Giagos at 7,200. He's got a ton of takedown equity. Whether or not you think he can hold Glenn down, if you think Glenn has a good get-up game, even better. Like he can land 7 or 8. His floor is decent in a GPP, but like on a slate where I think people are going to really target Pavlovich a lot, Silva a lot. Like they're going to target these guys the low 7,000 range with like KO potential. I think Giagos is like a crazy good pivot away from that. Like I don't think people think he's good, and his win condition is just like his decision equity here. He probably gets 100 some points because he got like 12 takedowns. Like I'm here for it, man. I think he's a great play away from like all these other very high variance dogs.
Yep, I like that. Like in a win, Giagos can possibly put up like 100.
But even in a loss, he's probably getting he could get you 50 something in a loss.
Oh yeah,
and it's 7,200 that can win you a tournament.
Yep, I like it. Gordo, who are you liking for a GPP play?
Yeah, I like Curtis Blaydes, but we already talked about him, so I'm going to go to somebody different. Yeah, Sergei Pavlovich. Like that whole fight to target is something that's a GPP as a whole. I mean, whenever Pavlovich wins, he's scoring above 106, 106, 108, 109, 131, 144. There's no question that this is a risky play because we have not seen him test on the ground. We have not really seen him out of round 1. But when he does win, he's scoring huge. And it's not like we haven't seen Blaydes finished early on. So although it is a very high variance spot and there are some good ways to pivot around it, it's hard to deny the upside and the GPP benefits that Pavlovich has, even at the high ownership he's going to come with.
All right, I like it. All right, moving on to our favorite cash play. I'll kick this one off. I'm taking the easy one. Montel Jackson's so freaking expensive this week, 9,700. But he's just somebody I think scores really good. He's somebody that I think is very, very safe. I mean, I'd be pretty surprised if Rani Yahya won this fight. And he's somebody that I feel like can just rack up a ton of knockdowns in this fight. Like he can knock down Rani Yahya, let him back up, knock him down again. Like this guy has a ton of power. Rani Yahya has been knocked down a couple times in his last few fights. Ricky Simón got him down twice. We saw Kung Ho Kong knock him down. So yeah, I think Montel Jackson has a ton of knockdown upside. And at 9,700, it's a lot, but I feel pretty safe about him putting him in cash. Weezy, who are you liking for cash this week?
Same thing. With the knockdown upside, it's good to get to Montel Jackson. Normally it'd be difficult, but this week there's so many underdogs I like, and there's so many good mid-priced options that I can go up there and get Montel Jackson. And a lot of the other ones below him, between 9,000 and him, are people that I'm not as high on. So with Jackson, you got the biggest favorite on the card. He's a huge Draftkings scorer, though. Tons of knockdowns, significant strikes, control time, takedowns. That's adding up to 4.86 Draftkings points per minute. So he doesn't even need to finish because at that rate, he scores 102 points in a decision win. So you don't care even if he doesn't finish. When you're scoring almost 5 DraftKings points a minute, you don't need to. So he feels like a really safe cash play this week on a week that I like a lot of these underdogs.
Yep, I feel the same way. Typically, 9,700, that's a lot, but on this slate, I think he's definitely in play. Lou, who are you liking as a cash play this week?
I'll go with Bobby Green at 9,400, save 300 on the Montel Jackson side. I think Green, Gordon has no finish. The last finish he had was in 2017. Green is historically durable. I know Dober knocked him out, we were all shocked at kind of that result, but Green is historically durable. He does throw a lot of volume. He throws a lot of strikes. His wins are, aside from, I wrote one down. I can't even read my own handwriting, but he's had one win that wasn't at least 90 points. He'll at least 10x his salary. He's big, high volume. For cash games, I think he's perfect. I don't see Gordon round one KOing him. So I think Green's there. He'll put up volume as his fight goes on. His cardio is good. And he brought 60K to the interview today, which is such a baller move. I don't know how you cap that, but as a guy who's an idiot, I cap it as he should be minus 1,000 now.
Yeah, I like it. I like that move. I like
the line value.
Yeah. Yeah, we've never seen anybody bring 60K today. Is that how much it was? Or was it 50? No, 60. So we'll see how that works out.
It was Monopoly money that he's what's up? He's stacks on stacks.
Oh my goodness.
Weezy would call him hose.
Yes.
With these stacks on stacks on stacks.
He had a bunch of stacks today. Gordo, who are you liking for cash this week?
Yeah, it's people already talked about Montel Jackson, Bobby Green. Lucindo's number 3 option for me, but I want to plant my flag on someone to fire Marshall. Marshall's someone I just want to talk about, take this opportunity to. I am pretty high on him this week. I do think he is the better fighter here, and he is the A side of this matchup, but I do think he's able to get it done. Even in a loss here, I think he has the ability to be the aggressor, have takedowns of his own, decent reversals, and I do think that he is more of a threat here. So I think his ceiling's pretty high, but his floor is also very high as well. So he's just a safe option at 9.2, and I do think he gets his hand raised at the end of the day.
All right, Francis Marshall, 9,200. Moving on to the value play. Gordo, will stick with you. Who are you liking for some value this week?
For value this week, I'm going to go with Karol Rosa at 7.9. I know it's a bit risky, but when we're looking at someone in this matchup who is in a 50-50 fight, really, according to the money line, and she is the underdog, add in that she is the higher drafting score of the two, who's able to go out there, put up enough volume to put up 100-plus scores a few times. She is someone I want to trust. In her decisions, she's gone 108, 109, 111, 105, and 89. She is a very high volume striker, and I do think she has more output here than her opponent, Dumont. And of course, Dumont has more moment winning ability, but in the minute winning that Rosa has, she does have some good salary saving at 7.9, and I do think she has decent value.
All right, Lou, how about you? Who are you liking for some value?
Look at Bruno Silva at 7,300. His, first of all, plus 135 money line versus 7,300 salary is bonkers value, especially because the guy, if he's anything like the old Bruno Silva and he gets a round one knockout, Tavares has proven his durability is really not that great. If Silva does bonk him here, he's going to get 100-plus points. If he wins a decision, and we just recorded props to consider, there was a split decision prop that was given at insane odds with Silva. Even in a decision win, it means his volume was good. He's probably getting you 80-some, 90-some points, even in a decision. He may even go to grappling here. Tavares has legit no grappling. I think there's a lot of angles where Silva pays off that 7,300. Again, on the slate like this, I'm a little worried that his ownership's going to be high. But, man, I think he could put up a lot of points. And even his floor is not terrible.
Yeah, because Tavares isn't knocking out anybody.
What's his floor? 30? He's a great, absolute value play.
Yep, I like it. I'm going with somebody who also I think is going to be obviously very high owned. It's Sergei Pavlovich for me, just because not only do I think there is value in terms of the line, Pavlovich is only plus 150, but how I see this fight personally, I think this is a 50-50 fight. I think Pavlovich could very well go out there and destroy Curtis Blaydes in the first 2 minutes. 60-second bonus upside for Sergei Pavlovich. With all that said, if he gets taken down once, the fight is going to be over shortly after, but I think Pavlovich will absolutely have his opportunities, and at 7,400, I will have my fair share of Pavlovich this week. Weezy, who is your favorite value play for UFC Vegas 71?
It's Karol Rosa. This fight is around 75% implied to go to decision, and over a UFC career, the high volume striker and grappler Rosa is averaging 4.57 DraftKings points per minute. I mean, we talked about Montel Jackson earlier, who's scoring 4.86. She's scoring 4.57. This means that even in a decision loss, Karol scores almost 70 points at that rate. I think that she's a fantastic value, especially at this salary against dump truck Dumont, who couldn't finish a glass of water after a workout. So I think that this is a really good spot for her. If you're going to get 15 minutes out of Karol Rosa and she's scoring 4 points a minute at that salary, knowing that it's already a coin flip, you're talking about maybe a 50 or 60 point floor for her.
All right, you guys talked me into some Karol Rosa, so I wrote her down because it makes a ton of sense. Like she scores, I didn't realize how well she scores. Like she scores big and like 109, 111, 108, 105. Her lowest win was 90. I mean, yeah, she scores a ton. So I will be keeping an eye on Karol Rosa this week. I think that's a great call, guys. All right, moving on to our dart throw. I'm going to kick this one off. It's somebody that Weezy talked about earlier, somebody that Weezy's very high on, somebody that's very handsome as well, and that is Priscilla Cachoeira. I mean, anytime Priscilla fights, she's always in play, besides, fighting Valentina Shevchenko. But she's always in play. She's super tough. And yeah, Weezy's right. If she survives the first round, she's going to win the fight. I think Karina Silva has about a round in her. And if she does survive that first round, Cachoeira is probably going to knock her out in round 2 or round 3. So yeah, 7,100. If she wins, expect a second or third round knockout and expect her to put up a very big score. So love me some Cachoeira at that price tag of 7,100, just way too cheap. Weezy, who is your dart throw this week?
I'm going to give you guys Brady Heastand this week. It's kind of a risky play because Dana has serious power in his hands, and we saw Fernie Garcia drop Brady in the first round of his last fight. However, Brady wrestles relentlessly. He's averaging 4.17 DraftKings points per minute, and over a 2-fight sample size, we know that. So it's a small sample size, but the sample size on him, on the tape that we have of him wrestling is always there. So it backs up what we've seen at the UFC level. So that this kid sells out for the takedown, he chains them together. He has the pace to push it for the full 15. So at 7,500 against a guy who we've seen get wrestled before by Altang Ali, I think Brady's a good dart throw for this week.
Yeah, and I'm shocked. Like, this is the first time we talked about that fight. I think that fight scores very well no matter who wins it, whether it's a Brady decision or a knockout. Lou, who do you like for a dart throw this week?
So I know I said Bobby Green cash, but Jared Gordo at 6,800. Take the Selecki fight out where there was going to be no grappling upside on the Gordon side. 101 against Santos, 95 against Chavez, 121 against Fishgold, 111 against guy whose name I can't read. I think Gordon can score well here if he gets takedowns going. I know Green's takedown defense is historically decent, but also let's talk about the karma of the universe. And isn't Gordon kind of owed a win after that travesty that was the Paddy Pimblett fight? If Gordon does barely anything here and he wins a decision, he's at least paying off his salary because his name isn't Blagoy Ivanov. He's not getting 62 points here. I think Gordon as if he gets some grappling going, he can get 80, 90 easily here. He's a great dart throw. Yep. He's not getting finished, I don't think. Oh, that's what I wrote down. You want to talk about he's been knocked out 5 times. It's been 6 years since he's been knocked out. And Bobby Green is not Does Jared Gordon sell real estate?
Not that I know
no.
of. Not that I know of.
Then I'm not worried about him getting knocked out by Bobby Green.
Yeah, I like it. Moving on to Gordo. Who you like as a dart throw this week?
Yeah, when we talk about dart throws, we talk about low ownership and high upside. And well, it hurts me to say it, but Rani Yahya, 6.5. I mean, he's not going to win, but if he does, what does it score? It's going to be a submission win. It's going to be Montel Jackson doing something stupid. And I don't think it's a very likely outcome, but I do think that it could absolutely break the slate. And 6.5, get a submission win. It could score what, 100, 105? How is that not optimal? So not someone to be very high on, but I'm going to have a small percentage just due to the ceiling.
Just so you know, his salary is how many chest hairs he has.
Nice. What's the what's the salary of Voodoo on that, Monk?
Well, 6,500 salary is very not good if you bet these. I'm not trying to mock Monk, but like
we love Monk.
It's my dude, man. I almost wore a skull cap.
I thought you were gonna come on with like a red beard, but no, you didn't.
Well, nah, I shaved like a week ago, and I'm not Homer Simpson, man. This shit doesn't grow like immediately.
I got you. All right. So what we're gonna do now, if you guys have not already, first off, leave a like. Second off, put some questions in the chat, and we'll get to them shortly. I saw some questions earlier. We'll get to all those, but you can put those in now. We're gonna go over the results for last week, and in fourth we had Gordo. You had Mateus Nicolau with 0.8, Max Holloway 89, Billy Quarantillo 8.97, Ian Kudalaba 107, Julian Robertson 105, and then Ed Herman 25, scoring 337.46. And third place was Weezy with Holloway 89, Bill Algia 116, Billy Quarantillo 8.97, Pudalova 46, Tanner Bozer 2, Brandon Royval 105, and Weezy scored 368.
Pudalova got screwed.
Yep, she did. We can add on 30 points to your score.
I want those 30 points. I want those 30 points.
Every point counts. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, though, Weezy. In second place was Monk with Rafa Garcia.
I did it!
80. It took me a second to get it. I was like, what?
I was waiting for my name.
I like it. So, Monk, you scored 87 with Rafa Garcia, Max Holloway 89, Billy Quarantillo scored 8, Kudalaba 107, Arnold Allen 32, and Brandon Royval 105. And in first place was me with Holloway 89, Quarantillo 8, Kudalaba 107, Robertson 105, TJ Brown 30, and Brandon Royval 105, scoring 447.24. We're going to go over our current standings in fourth. We got Monk with 4,592. And third place is Weezy with 4,631. And second place is Gordo with 4,977. And with a new leader, 12 cards in, myself, 4,984. Gordo's only 6 behind me, though. So we're
no. How much am I behind you?
6.9.
6.9. Thank you.
6.9. So, yeah, me and Gordo.
6.9.
Very nice.
It's a funny number. That's right. That's right. Only Weezy will understand the Burt Reynolds thing. It's funny because it's 6.9. It's funny.
Yeah, I don't understand. There must be an older. Having a while.
It's Burt Reynolds. It's funny.
Yeah.
I got you. Weezy, you're 353 behind me, and then Monk is 392 behind me. So, yeah, 12 cards in. I can't wait to see how it shakes up throughout the year there. So I'm going to scroll up. We'll answer some questions. We'll give our quick picks, and then we will head out of here. Lou, I don't know if you want to answer this, or I'm sure you talked about on your show. Yambag on ketchup.
My problem with this, first of all, I clearly talked about this. This is, my problem is I don't think this fight goes long enough for this to hit the Yambag shit. You should watch the show. I'll release it later. But my pick was Marshall Gomez because it's, as Weezy knows, Weezy and I, as the deans of the Yambag Institute, favor Southpaw versus Orthodox, especially in a fight that I think will go the distance. So I favor and it's low level. It's low level as shit. Like Marshall's all right, and Gomez, I can't trust the French.
So that's the MAG then.
Well, this is not an exact science, but it's a 12 fight card that stinks. And that one's going to go the distance, and it's lefty versus righty and bum versus bum. I think Silva's going to sub her in 3 minutes. So, like, I don't want to play clam bags on that. And it's clam bags, guys. Be professional.
Yeah. What about the Usman fight? I know you thought about that one potentially, but that you think that one ends too early?
I don't want to think about that fight. Sorry, Weezy. Brady, Weezy.
Yeah. No, I don't want to think about it either.
Like, yeah, I don't. They don't know what they don't understand me.
Yeah,
that's why I don't want to bet that fight. Ed Herman understood me. He's like, I got you, brother. Zach Cummings like, I'm retiring. I'm winning. He's like, I'm crushing this fool. You want a point deduction? I got you. Like, they understand
just about. Yeah.
Fellow old heads understood me. Tafa, Usman, they ain't old heads. They don't get this. They don't get yam bag culture.
Agreed. Speaking of Tafa, Weezy, any confidence level on Junior Tafa this week?
I don't have any confidence on either of these guys. It was one of the hardest fights for me to pick, and we're missing a lot of information on Tafa. You know, only 4 mixed martial arts fights, a 9-month career as a professional mixed martial artist. So how will the kickboxing and the big gloves translate to in the cage, the small cage this time? Long trip for Tafa. I'm picking Tafa to win. And I arbed the fight. I got Tafa at -110. I got Usman at +150. But I have no confidence in who's gonna win the fight.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you.
It's like Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, basically. It's like a mega event. It's like the immovable object versus the irresistible force.
Yeah, it's a fight that I just don't want to put any money on. But yeah, it's a fight that's going to happen. It's absolutely a fight. All right, guys. Cool. Almost forgot our lineups for this week. Lou, did you get your lineup for this week? If not, it's no big deal.
Dude,
I'm sure you did.
Stop, man. Every time I'm on the show, I'm fully goddamn prepared.
I knew you would be.
So I didn't want to get to Montel Jackson this lineup, but like the salary allowed it. So in order of salary, highest to lowest, Montel Jackson, Kareen Silva, Jeremiah, the Philly Project, my dude Wells, Karol Rosa, Sergei Pavlovich, Christian Giagos.
You're kidding.
All right. Gordo,
is that your lineup?
No. Okay, so I was going to sit here. I was going to talk about how the fact that I lost my lead and I'm going GPP to win it back. And I have the exact same thing, but instead of Kareen Silva, I have Francis Marshall. So we'll see if that changes.
Well, what do you? So you have the exact same thing.
Montel Jackson, Francis Marshall, Jeremiah Wells, Karol Rosa, Sergei Pavlovich, Christian Giagos.
All right. I'll go Montel Jackson, Karol Rosa, Christos Giagos, Danaa Bakary, Bruno Silva, and then Karina Silva. Weezy, what do you got?
I got Montel Jackson. I have Curtis Blaydes. I have Junior Wells. I got Karol Rosa. I got Brady Heastand. And I've got the very handsome Priscilla Cachoeira bringing up the rear there.
Handsome. So handsome.
Yeah.
All right. Quick picks, and then we shall head out. Weezy, you want to kick us off?
For sure, man. We're going to go with Blaydes by knockout in round 1. We're going to go with Brad Tavares by decision, Bobby Green by decision, Iasmin Lucindo by decision, Junior Wells first round knockout. We got Ricky Glenn by decision, Montel Jackson by decision, Karol Rosa by decision, Junior Tafa knockout round 2, William Gomez by decision, the very handsome Priscilla Cachoeira by second round KO, and Brady Heastand by decision.
I like it. Lou, what are your quick picks for this week?
God, Weezy on their side. So I'm just going to say this is I don't like breaking out props, but this is the Fabergé egg picks of the show. I'm going to go Pavlovich. There you go. I knew Weezy would fucking die with that.
I had a Fabergé egg habit back in the day. You brought up bad memories.
I don't do enough shows at Weezy. Pavlovich KO, Silva KO, Gordon by like karma decision, Lucindo, I guess, Wells by Philly shit. Ricky Glenn round 3 KO. Montel Jackson by it's dumb. Rosa decision. I guess Tafa. Marshall decision. I gotta go Korean Silva by sub. And then what's the last fight? You didn't scroll down.
Brady Heastan.
God, I hate that the whole community's on him, but like, let's go Mongolian Murderer by Murder.
All right. I like it.
Is that his nickname, or did I screw somebody up?
I think that's somebody else. I think
that's not Bakary.
But he's Mongolian, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay,
yes,
okay,
he is.
okay. Bakary by Mongolian Murder.
I think
Mongolian Murderer
Ari
is
Lang. Ari Lang is the Mongolian murderer.
I'm predicting Bakary by Mongolian Murder.
Okay. I got you. For me, I'm going Pavlovich, Bruno Silva, Bobby Green, Lucindo, Jeremiah Wells, Ricky Glenn, Montel Jackson, Norma Dumont, Muhammad Usman, Francis Marshall, Karina Silva, and Danab Bakary. Gordo, what are your quick picks for this week?
I'm going Sergei Pavlovich, Brad Tavares, Bobby Green, Iasmin Lucindo, Jeremiah Wells, Christos Giagos, Montel Jackson, Karol Rosa, Junior Tafa, Francis Marshall, Karine Silva, and Bakary Dana.
All right, so there we go.
Great pronunciation.
Yep, right from Bert. Right from Bert. I like it. All right. Before we get out of here, Gordo, we'll start with you. Let the people know where they can find you and what you got for some content for this week.
Yeah, for sure. You can find all my stuff at Plays and Fade Sports. Got my full card breakdown, picks, and predictions, both betting and Draftkings perspective out now. You can also add me on Twitter at GamblesGordo. I'm going live with Brett tomorrow for Daily Fan MMA, as well as I got a nice little show with somebody else too, sitting right above me. That will be out Friday morning, Lou?
No, we're doing it tomorrow night, you dummy.
But is we doing it? Aren't we recording it and then going out live or going out? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Pretty much, Lou and I are doing a show, except for I have to miss the next 3 weeks because I'm moving to a different country.
Oh, it's all right. I got you covered next week.
Perfect. Thank you.
There's a replacement in place. So yeah, go check out Gordo. Lou, let the people know where they can find you and your plans for this week for some content.
Okay, releasing the props to consider. I did it with Wiz and Big Tasty. An interesting collaboration. Great show. Fun show. I'll release that tomorrow morning. Tomorrow night, doing the show with Gordo. Same game. Profitability. Still considered working title. Doing same game parlays, which nobody on the space is doing. Friday for the 9th time in 10 weeks. I'm pretty sure I'm just running the show again on the MMA Engine. Happy hour with Lou and no Monk. And, no offense to you, Monk. These shows have been hot fucking fire with just me. So they're just hot fire. Who am I going to target? Who knows? But I'm also plus 31 units this year. So listen to me. Thanks.
There you go. Keep it up, Lou.
Thanks, K. Bye.
Keep it up. Okay, bye. Weezy, let the people know where they can find you and what you got going on for the rest of the week.
Not much rest of the week, man. I'm going to take the night off tonight and relax and, maybe even crack a beer. We'll see how it goes. But you can find me on my YouTube channel, Uncle Weezy. I'll be giving you a greasy 4-leg parlay sometime on Friday. You can find me on Pub Sports Radio for Stat Diggers for the DFS show. And you can find me on the MMA Engine every week with my man Brady for Probability.
Heck yeah, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll be going live Friday on my channel, DFS by the Numbers, and then Saturday as well for some best to bet. We got to catch up to Lou, so maybe that starts this Saturday.
Give it up. Give it up.
Leave a like.
Just give it up.
Not Lou. I'm gonna hit a round 3. I'm gonna hit a round 3 submission prop this week or next week. We'll see.
2 of them.
But I'm yeah, I know. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. We'll talk to you next week, and best of luck for UFC Vegas 71. See you later.